are back at the San Diego Sports Arena, and we are just moments away from the start of tonight's basketball game between the San Diego Clippers and the Philadelphia 76ers. And Philadelphia with a sensational record coming into the ball game here tonight, carrying in 44-16, trailing the Boston Celtics in the Atlantic Division by 1 game. San Diego, on the other hand, 29-34, 16 games from the top in Seattle. Mike Mathis on the right, Paul Mahalik. The officials working this game on the left tonight. We are set to go. Lionel Hollins, and you know a lot about him starting in a guard position, Steve Jones. Has Lionel recovered from the series of injuries that he's had?
He's back and he's healthy. The thing that he has to do now is adjust to the running style of the Philadelphia 76ers. Cunningham likes him. He's got him in the starting lineup. He fit right in. Was evidenced by a game he played against Los Angeles, just getting off the plane.
Walton jumping center, averaging 12.3 points a game since he's come back. He missed 139 NBA games. Tap goes to Lionel Hollins. And the 76ers have it going into their attacking zone. Left going right as you view it with us. That's Caldwell Jones. Big man on top. To the middle, Julius Erving. Playing with a lot more freedom this year than he ever has since coming to the NBA from the old New York Nets. And a 3-second violation, turning it over Philadelphia to the San Diego Clippers' first time down, with Brian Taylor and Lloyd Freed the guard line. Bill Walton the center. Sidney Wicks will be at one of the forwards, and Bobby Bingo Smith on the other side. Here's Wicks. Wicks not scoring nearly as much as he did when he came into the league earlier. Little pin down, backdoor and going free. Back to Brian Taylor. Hoop didn't want it. And here comes Maurice Cheeks. That's Lionel Hollins shooting over the on-rushing Wicks. In and out, tip by Big Bill Walton.
Walton tipped that in for them right then. Dawkins tried to come over the top. They'll give him credit for it, but he never got his hand on the ball.
So Walton going for 2 in the wrong hoop, so they give it to Dawkins. And Wicks, as I mentioned, not looking to score nearly as much. Wicks coming into the basketball game with an average of 7-4 a game, shooting only 41% from the floor. On top, Caldwell Jones. Pinned down on the baseline as they interchange up front. And Irving trying to set the back pick to free Dawkins away from Walton. They get it eventually to Darryl Dawkins. And a whistle and a foul. Darryl Dawkins and Bill Walton will be a most important matchup in this game here tonight.
Well, it's interesting to see that Billy Cunningham wants to take it right to Walton right now and see what kind of condition he's in. They get the ball into Dawkins. He'll give just a little bit of pump fake, get Walton off his feet, then take the ball up into him, and he's on the line and bounces his first one in.
Man-child, Darryl Dawkins, 13.4 points per game. And as he comes in, he goes to the line with 52% from the floor and 67% at the line. Darryl Dawkins. Never played college basketball. Played in high school, and that was it. Walton on the drive. We got a foul call, and Dawkins will be the man that committed the foul. So the 2 big guys with 1 each.
Caldwell Jones was the guy they called that foul on. That time he came across a little bit of a block as Walton made the move by Dawkins. Dawkins made a tremendous block, but Walton seems to have that intense look on his face that he's had in past games when he's played very well, and I know that he wants to make up for that ball game he played against the net.
While we have the opportunity, let's welcome all the delegates to the Texas Cable TV show in San Antonio tonight. Down there enjoying the ball game, hopefully. Second game of our doubleheader as Bill Walton goes to the line and makes the first. Walton had himself probably his best offensive game the other night in terms of total point production, even though his first 4 shots never drew iron. 4-3, missing on the free throw, trailing it by 1. Philadelphia with a 1-point lead. Philadelphia with a 17-12 road record. Dawkins can shoot that ball from there. Walton with a rebound and not letting the free before he comes to the floor. 2 on 3, Lloyd Freed. He let that one rip from about 20. Bobby Bingo Smith and Julius Erving with a rebound. Talk about a guy that can turn on the crowd. Watch Irving throughout the course of the night. We got a foul call on the play.
They got Walton on that foul right there. They got the ball out early. Julius Erving showing what he does best for a big guy. He got the ball down to Hollins, and they just took it right by Walton right here, and they get the foul, and they'll inbound the ball.
Lionel Hollins from Maurice Cheeks to Julius Erving. The doctor at 6'6", shooting over Bingo, same height-wise. Dawkins tips it in. Dawkins is 6'11 and a half, 260 pounds. He's got 6 points. They lead 6-3. Walton deep. He's tough when he's down that far. You really can't allow Bill Walton to get that deep in the box. He's really got a money in the bank situation if he does. Dawkins getting it back from Cheeks. Back to Cheeks and over to Lionel Hollins. And out of bounds, it'll go back to San Diego. San Diego, team-wise, can score points, but they give up a lot. They score 108.6. They give up 112.1. And the opponent is shooting better than 50% from the floor against the San Diego Clippers. That's kind of a negative statistic you don't like to talk about if you're a Clipper fan.
Well, that's a steal by Cheeks.
Walton's pass misdirected. Hollins trying to challenge his former teammate, Walton from Portland. And Walton gets the better of it. Tater to Free over Caldwell Jones, former teammates, and Free gets the offensive foul. Lloyd Free played in Philadelphia. And many of these fellas, old friends, in addition to being teammates, and he'd love to show them up tonight.
Well, it's the delay of game against San Diego. Lloyd Free never did give up the ball, so they get that quick warning right there. Free took the ball in and hung upside, and he thought he was going to get the call. Caldwell Jones just went straight up in the air, and Maurice Cheeks brings it up, and they're going to run a set play this time.
6'1", 180 pounds, West Texas State, averaged 8.4 points a year ago. Play to Irving. Solos on Wicks off the ball, and gets it, and then he falls away with a missed shot, and Walton with another rebound. Brian Tater to Wicks, to Lloyd Free. 7-6, and Philadelphia's transition not there. Good crowd here tonight, despite the fact that California, Southern California in particular, as I'm sure you're all well aware of throughout the country, is having some horrendous weather. And a lot of rain and a heavy rainstorm predicted again tonight. But these people are here in attendance to see the Sixers in their only appearance here in San Diego this year. Bingo Smith on the post-up attempt, and Lionel Hollins reaching over with a foul.
They get a foul that time as he tried to come inside, but they were trying to run a play back inside from Irving to Dawkins, and they didn't get it.
Lionel Hollins, Maurice Cheeks chased by Brian Tater, played by Walton. Walton with 2 fouls and a block shot, and out of bounds, dropped Maurice Cheeks. Walton right there with great anticipation defensively.
Well, the one thing, if you're going to challenge Walton, you want to come in and take it to him real hard. They try to come the other side of the basket. He made another real good block.
Philadelphia defensively now sets up with Brian Tater, played by Hollins. Deep box to Walton. Good quick move. Missing with the hook. Follow-up tap by Wicks. No good, and Hollins with it. Here they come. Lionel brings it up under control. Crosses over. And we got an offensive foul on Lionel Hollins. Actually, he may have committed a turnover when he crossed the dribble over going underneath, but they don't call that too much anymore.
Well, right now this game is very tightly officiated, and the players have not been able to get away with too much. Hollins put a little arm out for protection. He got whistled, and San Diego will bring it up.
San Diego sitting Big Swen Nader down, the second leading rebounder in the NBA, just a notch behind Moses Malone of Houston, and he doesn't play much when Walton is active. They're going to have to figure out how to play them both in tandem. Missed by Bingo, rebound by Caldwell. Lionel Hollins up to Irving. Let's see how he solos. Finger roll, magnificent move underneath on Bobby Smith. Walton getting back just a little bit late. I would think, Steve Jones, that transition on the part of both teams will be a key factor in this game tonight.
Well, Caldwell Jones is a big defensive rebounder for them. Walton is a big defensive rebounder for San Diego. Lloyd Free gets a tough shot. He only had 7 points the other night. He said his ankles were bothering him, but they look fine now.
And it looked like Maurice Cheeks got hit right in the face on that particular play. And Billy Cunningham, the coach of the 76ers, on the floor. And we have a whistle here. What do we have?
Got a technical foul. Free goes up, comes right in, and Cheeks catches the elbow, but you don't play defense with your face, and that time it got a little bit too close.
And Billy Cunningham is appealing to Paul Mahalik when Mike Mathis was the man that made the call. Really, unless it is a real emergency situation, they don't allow the coach to come onto the floor, although Cunningham feels that his man was fouled, and he's not getting any kind of retribution here.
Well, he came out to take a look at Cheeks and see how he was. He really thinks very highly of Maurice Cheeks. He said many times if he had a son, he'd like him to be just like Mo Cheeks. And he got pumped in the nose, so he wanted to take a look at him. I don't know, they're taking him out of the ball game, or he's gone down the end of the bench. Yeah, he's coming out.
And they're going to bring Henry Bibby in. They don't really hurt themselves there. Bibby 6'1", 180, 8-year man from UCLA. This guy, you talk about a guy that has struggled to stay in this league. Nobody in the league has worked harder than Henry Bibby. In the days he was drafted low by the Knicks, Went through a tough siege, and when he was dished off down to New Orleans, and then, of course, comes over to Philadelphia, filled a role, and every year you hear that he might be gone, but every year he hangs on. Here's Irving. And the Doc, under pressure by Bingo Smith, doesn't draw iron, misses everything but the floor. And here come the San Diego Clippers. Now what do we have? We're going to have a timeout call. Is that what we're going to have?
No.
Can't do that.
They got whistles blowing. There's a lot of confusion right now. They hope to inbound the ball again. They want to bring him over. But they're going to find out who the technical timeout. There is a timeout.
Now they're officially calling a timeout with 6:57 gone here. And we will take the timeout. Tight, tough game so far. A lot of mistakes and a lot of questions being asked across the way. Timeout, San Diego 9, Philadelphia 8. We'll continue with the NBA tonight right after this. Basketball game. San Diego leading the Philadelphia 76ers. Couple of scores for you after 3. Washington 96, Cleveland 89, Phoenix 94, Detroit 93. Those are third period scores. I don't know. Can Washington come back, Steve?
Well, Washington has dug themselves a very deep hole. They've been confident all year long that they would put something together. Read in the Washington paper that Dick Motta still believes that they can, so it'll be interesting to see. There's your friend.
My buddy. Look at him. He's got my rain suit on.
That's your size.
Just about. Extra small. Look who we have here. Just another notch on the attendance meter. The San Diego Chicken has made his appearance. Resplendent with my rain suit. This game brought to you by under rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any rebroadcast or other use of the pictures and accounts of the game without the written consent of the NBA is prohibited. Ryan Taylor on the miss. Walton with good block-out position to enable him to get it back and get the 2-point. Good position by Walton, and those are the things you don't see in the box score.
Well, he had good position, and the ball came along that time as he and Dawkins hooked up. The San Diego Clippers have done a good job defending so far and making Philadelphia put the ball up from the perimeter.
Just trying to pick up Walton's defensive positioning as Walton goes down on a pass that hit him. And Walton getting up rather slowly as he and Darryl Dawkins collide at the other end. And now we have a little turnover here going the other way for San Diego. Watching Walton very carefully because he has that foot that he is overly protective of, and I suppose rightly so. But he fell over the
outstretched body of Darryl Dawkins.
That's exactly right.
They both collided. They've had pretty good contact inside. Looks like Nader's going to come in the ball game.
Trying to figure out how to describe his body when it stretches out. Looks like a big tank anyway. Upright or downright. As Wicks on the interception to Bingo. Ryan Taylor. Lloyd Free slipping. That floor might be a little wet. Got to be a lot of wet spots in here with moisture. They've had the problems with the roof leaking. As Walton. A little bit deeper than he'd normally like, but he still hit it. Oh, he's tough. He's got that sweet spot down on that backboard. He knows exactly where to go, and the Clippers with a 13-8 commanding lead. For the moment, anyway. 5:37 to play in the first period. Dawkins. Dawkins scored their first 6 points. Challenging the big guy. They're going to make him work. Follow chip by Bibby on the miss, and the rebound out of there by Brian Taylor. Taylor with a 3-on-3. Back to Bingo. To the paint. Missing on the driving one-hander. Rebound by Caldwell to Julius Irving, and here comes the doctor. A little treading water dribble there. Start, stop, and go on the clear out. Walton trying to come over. Walton actually zoning the paint area. Interesting to watch him work. Walton stepped out of his sneaker on that bad foot. And now Swing Nader going to come into the ball game. Second leading rebound in the NBA. Nader at 6'11", 260 pounds of blue twisted steel. He's got an incredible physique. And Lionel Hollins will inbound to Bibby. Brian Taylor. See if Philadelphia's strategy changes just a little bit here. They were concentrating on trying to go to Dawkins, challenging Walton. And now Bibby on the left side action that time when Brian Taylor fouled by Brian, considered by his coach to be the best defensive guard in the NBA. What do you think?
Well, Brian Taylor is very quick with his hands, and you cannot fool around with the ball around. Sometimes he has a tendency to gamble, and that hurts him, but they commit the foul there, and Philly, which having a tough time scoring right now, is going to go to the free throw line and get a chance for some cheap points.
And, of course, the penalty situation, in effect, you get the extra shot on a situation that normally would not call for a free throw. They're going to get a 1-and-1. And so Henry Bibby at the line will get the extra shot. 13-9 the score. We're at 4:58. San Diego with 5 team fouls. Philadelphia with 1. And it's 13-10. This is Brian Taylor, played for Pete Carrell at Princeton. Lloyd free. Backs down on Bibby, allowing him to get too deep. Puts it up a little high. You saw Irving come over there and help out on free, and on the save, crossed the way, Dawkins to Irving. And the big man, Darryl Dawkins, getting to the middle and leading the break, and Irving getting the 2 points. 13-12. Watch this replay.
He just overpowered, showed his versatility, put it behind his back, and knocked Bingo Smith down, took all the traffic out of the way, and got it to the right man, the doctor.
You can believe all the traffic got out of the way. Saw him coming. Weak side lob. Nader trying to go to Lloyd. Does. Gets 2 on the reverse. Set it up nicely. They ran free, left over the top and around, and Nader giving him a nice lead lob, and he put it in on the reverse. Nader with a rebound. Loose ball foul by Darryl Dawkins.
Dawkins fairly well pumped up. He's been jumping pretty good at both ends. That time he tried to come in. He came over the back of Nader, so he picks up his first foul. He grabbed the hold of the rim also.
Swin Nader, 56% from the floor, 73% at the line, about 15 rebounds a game, and about 13 points a game. Free. He likes to go right. There he is. He misses. And the rebound, Caldwell Jones. Dawkins and Nader bang pretty hard off the ball. And the doctor again. Oh, is he magnificent tonight. 15-14. San Diego lead to 1. The doctor with 6. That's Nader. He'll try that move maybe once a game. He was forced out and a foul called on the man that shoved him. Used to be you could get a force out, no foul. Now it's either an inline violation or a foul.
Well, he spun that time, made a good surprise move on Dawkins. Caldwell Jones did not get over there in time, so they get the ball out on the side.
Big Dawkins with his second foul. Into Swin. They clear out, overload the right side. Nader with a clear out action on the left and the miss hook. And Caldwell Jones with it. Jones. Jones is actually over 7 feet. I gave you misinformation on that prior to the start of the game. When they get that high, who cares, huh? 6'11", 7 feet, 7'1".
Well, you know, a lot of guys that are 7 feet legit, they want to be 6'11" because 7 feet has a funny distinction about it.
Should be paying taxes on my air. Guy getting up there playing air rights. 15-14. Bobby Smith goes out of the ball game. And in for San Diego will be coming Jelly Bean Joe Bryant, former Philadelphia 76er.
Bobby Smith picked up his 3rd foul trying to prevent Irving from posting up there. Irving is really best when he's in a spread floor situation, and we've seen some of his spectacular moves.
He is saying that, and we talked to him a little bit about this at halftime, about the fact that he is being given more latitude to do things, particularly not so confined to a roll situation as he has been in the past. So he's been able to create with a flair a little bit more this year than he ever has before. Now Philly going to full court pressure. They break the heat, and they've got Lloyd free with Joe Bryant. Good transition by the 76ers to cover. Bryant blocked Julius Irving.
That's one thing Irving has gotten not enough recognition about, his ability to come over and block shots. That time he just hovers like a big condor, and he smacks that one down on a mismatch.
Hangs like a bat. That ball hit Lloyd free off the inbound, out of bounds, and that's a good call by Mike Mathis, as the ball will be inbounded by Bibby to Lionel Hollins. Defensively, we want to pick up on Philadelphia. They're allowing Irving to roam all over the place, kind of like a rover back in football. And he is sweeping from side to side, trying to help out on the man with the ball. Dawkins coming in there a little bit late, rebound by Wicks. Wicks, Brian Taylor, three-pointer. Good, he got it. Brian Taylor with a three-point shot. One day in practice, he hit 15 of those babies in a row. 18-16. Boy, that three-pointer's been a savior for this team, San Diego. Backdoor the doctor. Hanging. And fouled on the play by Sidney Wicks. Brian Taylor coming into the game 74 of 196, 38% on three-point shots. So he hit his 75th. Well, that's a lot of three-point play. We have a foul call, and we'll have a timeout with 2:48 to play. Timeout charge to Philadelphia. San Diego 18, Philadelphia 16. And this is Thursday night NBA basketball from San Diego.
The best investments are often the hardest to find. You have to look and look. And no one else has our instinct to dig where there seems to be nothing and turn up valuable opportunities. Merrill Lynch, a breed apart.
This is the remote control for RCA's incredible new special effects VCR. Selectavision 625 with slow motion, fast forward, stop action, and the maximum record time available, 6 hours. Only RCA has Selectavision 625. Special effects, now in a 6-hour VCR. Let RCA turn your television into Selectavision.
Madison Square Garden Sports features college basketball, Indiana at Michigan, Arizona at Arizona State, Minnesota at Wisconsin, Saturday, February 23rd at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 18 to 16, San Diego with a 2-point lead, but at the line will be Dr. J, Julius Erving.
Now, Irving got that one on a baseline drive, went around Jelly Bean Bryant, and Wicks came over. He was scary that time. Didn't look like there was really any contact, but he got to the line anyway.
And Irving, a 78% free throw shooter, makes good on the first. University of Massachusetts graduate a year ago, averaged 23-1. This year he's doing better than that, 26-4. Got a question for you, Steve Jones. What NBA team drafted Julius Erving first originally?
First, Milwaukee Bucks.
That's the story.
Who signed him? Atlanta.
Dawkins on the rebound, and Lionel Hollins. Natural left-hander Hollins. There's Henry Bibby trying to put it over Nader. Deflected, lost by Nader, picked up by Bibby. That shot would have been good had it gone. It was not. And he'll go to the line.
Swin said, no, that's not my foul that time. He got the ball over to Bibby, wide open on the baseline, and the ball came off short, deflected off Swin Nader, and Bibby will get it right back. And Swin is saying he's not the guy that committed the foul. He wants Sidney Wicks for that call, but they doesn't get it.
At the line, Bibby. Bibby, another fine performer from UCLA. Bibby, 76% at the line. And now Philadelphia 20 to 18, and Bibby 4 for 4 at the line. Lloyd free with the ball. They're doubling up on the ball when they can. Swinging underneath number 23, Bryant. And a foul call underneath.
Fouls on Hollins that time as he tried to get to that ball before Bryant got there, got a piece of him.
Philadelphia with their 4th team foul. Philly trying to double the ball whenever they can. Bibby out on top. You see Erving trying to cheat over and help out if he can.
Well, the purpose of that, Eddie, is to try and make San Diego put the ball up quicker than they would like so they can get a running game going. Free puts it up. Nothing wrong with those legs today.
20-20 a tie. Dawkins and Nader banging each other off the ball. That could erupt before it's all over with. A couple of 260-plus pounders. Erving. The doctor worked on by Wicks. Hand checked and banged by Wicks, and off a screen by Dawkins. The miss and the rebound by Bryant. Outlet to Wicks. And a 1-on-1. Now 2-on-2. That's Lloyd free. The transition has got to be important in this game. We'll repeat that one for you again because both these teams, when they can, like to get out and fly. 22 to 20 to score. Bibby, Lionel Hollins, and Big Caldwell Jones, one of many Jones brothers that played at Albany State. His brother is the coach there. Offensive foul.
Get a foul on Dawkins that time. Dawkins has picked up a couple of bad fouls. That time he really put that arm out and got Jelly Bean Bryant as he went by.
They've called it on Bibby now. They've called, they changed the foul and they call it on Henry Bibby. So that is 1 on Bibby. May have been another foul, but Bibby's probably superseded. All right, we've got Bryant free. Nader on top. Marvin Barnes in the ball game. That's right. The Marvin Barnes, missing on his first, played on 2 10-day contracts, and then just signed for the rest of the year. Deflected that time, but Tater from Nader to Tater. Another three-pointer for Brian Tater. Boy, he is something else from there. Brian Tater now with 8 points in the game, and 2 of them from three-point parking lot distance. 25-20. See more and more teams now, Steve, setting up a three-point type offense, particularly teams that have the three-point shooters.
Well, anytime you have the freedom that Brian Taylor has to put that ball up like that, you're going to shoot a greater percentage, and he feels very comfortable putting it up out there. The guys that seem to be leading the league are not really jump shooters, but guys that sit a little bit more of a set shot, and they have a couple of set plays for Brian Taylor.
Bobby Jones, who just came in the game, fouled on that play, and Barnes was the man that committed the foul. Jones is 6'9", tremendous player, defensive player, good team player, very unselfish, always up there in field goal shooting percentages because he always shoots it right around the basket, good shots. And Barnes, of course, also at 6'9", so they present a pretty good physical matchup in terms of overall size, matching up pretty good. But Jones in much better playing condition at this juncture than Marvin Barnes. Barnes at one time was something else. Free. Lloyd Free gets it to a 27-21 Philadelphia deficit now as the 76ers trailing San Diego, and with the ball, Maurice Cheeks. Into the hands of Nader. Another turnover. Out to Free. One-on-one on Bibby, and he'll back up and get it under control. Free has a habit, just a little trivia thing, of wearing his right sock with the stripes out on top, and then on the other leg, he covers up the sock with the stripes. Just a little trivia shot. Very rarely shoots three-pointers. Did miss. Nader gets it, puts it in. Free is not a three-point shooter, and that ends the period. So the Clippers with 3 three-point plays, 2 of them that hit, and they end up with a two-pointer on the short end of the three-pointer here. San Diego 29, Philadelphia 21. Back when the NBA on Thursday night continues.
My head. Colin Gardenier has a headache.
Will you try extra strength Tylenol?
I will try it if it's going to help. Compare the levels of medicine in the leading regular and extra ingredient pain relievers. Extra strength Tylenol has more medicine.
How do you feel?
Super. My headache has disappeared. I was about to ask you if I could take some of these with me. It seems to really have done the job. Extra strength Tylenol, aspirin free, and you can't buy a more potent pain reliever without a prescription. I feel great.
That's the feeling for a car that's been the #1 seller in the world, the Toyota Corolla. And here comes the 1980 Toyota Corolla, new from the wheels up, with slipstream styling, more room inside, and a peppier 1.8-liter engine. The all-new Toyota Corolla's got what it takes to make you feel like you're sitting on top of the world.
29-21, Clippers with a lead over the 76ers. And welcome to the delegates of the Texas Cable TV show in San Antonio, the Clippers and the Chicken. He's out there making a raid on the hen's nest. He's out there doing his thing. Look at this, Steve Jones. Man, the things this guy gets away with. 29-21. Clippers with the lead. And the 76ers huddling across the way as the Chicken walks off the floor with that black leather jacket. Shades of Sha-Na-Na. It hoits. All set to go now. Second period action. Swen Nader will start at the middle position for San Diego with big Marvin Barnes. In Boston, they say Marvin. And at the other forward position, they'll have Jelly Bean Joe Bryant. He's 6'10", Barnes 6'9", matches up on Bobby Jones, 6'9", the Doctor 6'6", and Caldwell Jones at 7'1". Maurice Cheeks on Lloyd Free, 6'2" on 6'1". Freeman Williams in, Doug Collins is in. Collins and Walton with a lot in common. And that little jump hook by Swen Nader. Nader, a good field goal percentage shooter. Although he hasn't been playing all that well according to his coaches recently. He has done a good job on field goal percentage shooting over the last 5 games, 62%. Here comes Marvin to Swen, to Marvin, to Swen, 2 more.
Well, that's real good team ball by the Clippers. Right now, they're running a clinic on the 76ers. They're running them out of their offense. That time, Barnes goes back and forth with Nader, and they get 2 points on the break.
Every night, they get up for the 76ers. Same for Seattle, the Lakers. Every time they go anywhere, you know you're going to get a game because everybody gets pumped up. Big crowds. Cheeks. Tango. Maurice Cheeks. He doesn't look to score a lot, but they tell me he doesn't do a bad job. Shoots 55% from the floor, averages 11-4. That is free, and that is Caldwell Jones. Brother Major playing down at Houston. How about that for a name? Major Jones. Yes, sir.
That's what they want. They want a guard that can shoot the ball from the outside, and very quickly Collins comes in. They get 2 outside jumpers, one from Cheeks, and they're back in the ball game.
Think about the guard core they have in Philadelphia with Hollins and Collins, a couple of big guards, and Cheeks. They've got Clint Richardson on the bench. That's Swen Nader. Freeman Williams, a scoring machine. On the honeycomb, it pops out. A little hitch and go by Jellybean Joe. 35-25. San Diego leading by 10. Good crowd here tonight. Not too far from a sellout. And Irving going for the ball, foul crossed the way by Joe Bryant. Good action. Nothing like a big crowd at an NBA game. Really get things going. The old juices rolling. The excitement. Maurice Cheeks. They run a stack parallel to the end line, and then they run Irving up the baseline left to right. Tries to take it on Bryant on the clear out. They sag off, and they go to the open man, and that time it's Bobby Jones. Set play off the inbound. Freeman Williams from 20.
Got that one blocked.
35-27. Irving one hand grabbing on the Cheeks pass. Oh my goodness gracious, can you believe it? Oh, is he something else?
Jumped right back and then spun it back off the glass. That's just a tremendous offensive move by him. Now you know why he called the doctor.
He is something that was squeezed out of a pastry bag. He has got all the French pastry for sure. A lot of inside passing and handing off. And Bryant with his 4th of the game. Boy, they got some big people down there. Caldwell and Nader, Bryant, Barnes, Jones, all 6'9" or better. And there's Doug Collins with an offensive foul.
Looked like he was fading away that time. Looked like he got Freeman Williams off his feet. Gene Shue is happy with the call. Doug Collins is not.
Collins the same problem that Walton has, a little stress of the navicular bone on the foot. And any undue pressure seems to recreate that crack. And Collins has now had it on both feet. Maybe something he's going to have to live with. Timeout call. You see the score. San Diego 37, Philadelphia 29. And we'll be back when the Thursday night NBA action from San Diego continues. These two teams have only played once so far this year. That was in Philadelphia, and the 76ers winning a real close one on what San Diego thought might have been 1 or 2 disputed calls that figured in the final outcome of that game. Philadelphia winning that ball game 104-101. And for some reason or other, San Diego, a team that is not all that artistic in terms of win-loss record, plays very well against Philadelphia. And I think a lot of that partly due to the fact that you have so many alumnus from the Philadelphia team.
Well, that may be true, but I think it's styles of play, and both teams like to run, and both teams have good offensive players. And the one thing that Gene Shue has done, which he couldn't do on Tuesday night, is get Lloyd Free started offensively. 7 points for him that night, and he comes back with 12 in the first period, so you know that they've gotten themselves off to a good start, and they both like to run. Ladies and gentlemen, the first 5,000 fans who entered the sports ring of the evening received the Lloyd Free full-color poster courtesy of Nike. How much showing our appreciation?
The chicken rising and rolling as you see the score. San Diego 37, Philadelphia 29. Other NBA games tonight. Not too many. Cleveland and Washington, Phoenix and Detroit. And don't forget this Sunday, the NBA on CBS, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Kansas City Kings. A great Midwest rivalry. And it will tee off at about 1 o'clock Eastern time, followed by the San Diego game and Chicago. Lloyd Free, Maurice Cheeks run him into a back pick and a pick and roll. Bryant gets it down deep. Played by Bobby Jones. Jones, good defensive player. Bryant going up on the pump fake, following up, gets his own missed shot, dives into the crowd. Jelly Bean Joe out of bounds.
Just made it through that aisle in time. Otherwise, he'd have been right here in the cheap seats in somebody's lap.
37-29, the score of the basketball game. That's your job. You go out and catch it. Jones backdooring Bobby Jones.
That's one of the big surprises for the 76ers. They have Bobby Jones and Steve Mix both coming off the bench to do an excellent job.
Jones averaging 13-4 is a 56% career field goal percentage shooter. Good basketball player. Good head for the game. Free, isolated on Cheeks. On the pass by Nader. He's got radar on that shot. If it's anywhere close, it'll go down. Bryant deflecting. Good hands by Joe Bryant. Anticipating the passing lane, deflecting it out of bounds. That'll stall any kind of a break that Philadelphia had in mind. Cheeks from Julius Erving. Played by Lloyd Free. Irving on the glass. Free has not made any NBA all-defensive teams, and I think there's good reason for that.
Yeah, I think, you know, Lloyd is just like all great offensive players. They give you about 5 or 6 seconds worth of defense, and then they're ready to go the other way.
That's the reason. Freeman Williams. There's an offensive player. Under protection that time, overshooting on the air ball, Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones can glide. Talk about a man that sprouts wings every now and then. This North Carolina leaper can get up there at 39-35. And Philadelphia back to within 4. Nader up on top. You see the stack set up on the top side. They get on to Free, posting down on the low box on the left side. Free on Cheeks. They clear out, let him isolate. Irving with a rebound, averaging 7.5 a game. Dr. J. That's Doug Collins. Good quick first step. Jones in and out. Nader with it. Does that about 15 times a game. And he'll dribble it up a couple times. Nader's got really one of the better outlet passes in the game. But Philadelphia really looking for it. So they go to midcourt immediately and try to shut off that outlet pass. Freeman Williams gets his own missed shot. And Nader on the third offensive try that time puts it in.
Well, they had no help that time for Caldwell Jones, and they finally got the ball down. When Nader.
Got to go up and block out when he's under the board. Got to go up. Keep him on your back if you can. He's a big, strong, tough guy. 41-35. Backdoor sealed by Joe Bryant, so the doctor will try and come out over the top. Collins. Passing. Caldwell. Jump hooking, missing, and Nader with another rebound.
He's got 2 balls go in and out. 2 real good shots for him.
Nader with a lot of boards here so far. That's Freeman Williams with a save. Lloyd Free on top clock at 14 seconds. Boy, that Atlanta Hawk team last night. Talk about a hustling team. Here's Joe Bryant. And they have turned out in Atlanta really to do a job in supporting the Hawks. I can recall going down there a few years ago. You'd see 3, 4, 5. But Hubie's hustling Hawks are something else, and the fans love them in Atlanta.
That's what winning will do for you. That'll bring all of those that deserted you back.
And they started it by just sheer hustle, not knowing that they could win, and now they can do a little of both. That's Dr. J. 43-37 steal for the doctor, the man that made the last 2. Oh, my goodness. How sweet it is. And that, my friends, is poetic justice. He set it up, he gets it back, and he'll get the 2, and he's got 18. 43-39, and we got a foul on Irving. So he did everything. Even got the foul. That makes it a complete sequence.
That didn't look like much of a foul that time right in front of us, but he was all over trying to bring the 76ers back. He got him within 4 points. Barnes will go out of the ball game. Sidney Wicks comes in to replace him. Dawkins and Steve Mixer in the ball game.
All right, they've got Wicks, Nader, and Bryant on the front line. They have Brian Taylor backdooring. Nobody picked him up as he drives through there, and Jones picks up the rebound on the missed shot. Mix is in for them. As you mentioned, Dawkins. A heck of a thing, Steve, but you know that Barnes was out there for 4 or 5 minutes, and you hardly knew he was there.
Well, he did make one positive play out there when he went back and forth on the break. He came up with the steal, but he's just trying to blend in as Dawkins gets his basket.
43-41. Philly within a pair.
It's interesting that Gene Shue has not brought Bill Walton back at all. And just as I say that, the big fella gets up.
Getting tight, and Nader trying to backdoor Wicks that time. Leads him, and Wicks screened away from the pass as the defender up on top, preventing Wicks from seeing the pass, and out of bounds with the turnover. Turnovers, Philadelphia 10, San Diego 7. Rebounds unofficially right now. San Diego looking for, let's see, 25 and Philadelphia 22. Those are unofficial numbers that we're keeping right here.
Nader and Walton both stay in the game.
That's what you call the jumbo line. Those are some mastodons up there now with Dawkins and Walton. What a pair off that is. Wicks and Jones and Nader on the front line. Big people. Darryl Dawkins. Big D. That's called in your face. 43-43 to tie. And the collars are tight as Walton makes a good backdoor reverse move and lays it in. And Dawkins with a foul.
Well, not a good foul that time by Darryl Dawkins, and he picks up his third foul just that quickly. It looks like Caldwell Jones is going to have to come back in the basketball game. He let Walton get the good position down and deep. Bill just swung in on him. He's got a chance for a three-point play.
Boy, that's a good move. That's the kind of move that you think about if you're a basketball devotee. A kind of move that you'd love to see any kind of a big man make. He returned here January 29th in a game against Phoenix. Missed 138 straight NBA games. All started back in the 77-78 playoffs with that fractured bone in the foot. And it's been a string of injuries since then. And, of course, this time the navicular fracture of the left foot. Same injury that Collins had in the right foot. 45-43. San Diego by a deuce. Collins put that baby right in the throat. 4 minutes to play in the first half. Halftime tonight. Julius Erving. Well-spoken, very articulate, very sensitive guy. Got a lot to say. Wish we had more time. Walton to Wicks. Freeman Williams. Back to Nader. Good hook. Nader's got one of the sweet hooks in the game. That one a little flatter than usual, but it still went through. And it's 47-45. San Diego by a pair, and Nader with 10.
Quinn can be very effective anytime he's got time, and he's got a mismatch size-wise with Mix. Mix has got one also as he bombs from the outside.
You don't see Mix take that shot that off. His shot, the one he likes the most, is coming into the middle of the lane from right to left. Freeman Williams. Oh, what a nice move by Williams. Talk about a quick crossover, and Cunningham says, I want to take a timeout. He'll get it to midcourt and maybe try and call one here. Cunningham's trying to get time, and Cheeks doesn't see him. Now Cunningham's going to let it go as they try and set up their offense. Mix. Back to Collins. Collins on the pick that time by Mix. And trying to get in between that time, Freeman Williams, but to no avail. 2:51 to play here in the half. Freeman Williams, three-pointer, in and out. Nader with a tip. No, sir. Rebound deflected to Caldwell Jones.
Well, Billy forgot about the timeout. He's still standing up there trying to decide what he's going to do as the 76ers get to within 2 points.
He's enjoying the game, too. Here's Caldwell, or I should say Doug Collins. And Wicks and Nader fighting, and Wicks gets the rebound. That's Brian Taylor up on the right side. Freeman Williams. Little guys. 6'3", and he jumps over Steve Mix at 6'7" that time. And Wicks just trying to go up there and protect that vertical air right that he has. And Freeman Williams, who's a sensational scoring machine, gets the 2.
Well, I said we'd see an offensive explosion, and that's what it's turned into.
Big first half, 51-47. Williams had 81 points in a game in college once. Doug Collins. Collins, a former Olympian, 51-49. He's got 8. And now with 1:56 to play in the first half. Freeman Williams sets it up. Wicks. They go to Walton. There's the weak side cut. Now there's a play, Steve, they ran at Portland many, many times and so successfully. Finally, Philly's going to take that time out. Where they flash the guard from the top to the middle of the lane, and Walton with that turnaround pass to the cutting guard on the weak side, and it didn't work this time.
Well, that's one of Walton's strong points, and anytime he can get that ball in the middle and have time to pass it, he'll see the open man.
51-49, San Diego. The NBA on Thursday night continues right after this big, important message.
You're the Pepsi generation, the spirit of today. And with every taste of life that's new, well, that Pepsi spirit shines right through. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in.
It's perfect.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places.
There's just so much to do. A week isn't enough.
Hey, this superstar can do it all in one day.
Good luck, Star.
Holiday Inn Resorts have the best locations. Here are the things you want to do. That's just one reason Holiday Inn Resorts are #1 in people-pleasing.
Enough for today.
Don't forget the disco contest.
Holiday Inn is #1
Superstar.
in people-pleasing.
And here's the score of the ball game. San Diego 51, Philadelphia 49 in second period NBA action. Hey, Steve, have you seen any of that major indoor soccer league?
big scoring in that league. You got a lot of excitement. It's real tight and quick in there. Philadelphia's got a good team.
And they're going to be playing at Wichita Sunday on the 24th, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, Eastern Standard. And that's an exciting game. More and more people starting to watch it. They use the boards. It's a lot like hockey. Play with a soccer ball. Some of those shots that come in on those goaltenders. Ooh. 51-49. Maurice Cheeks on the switch now. Jump switch back as Nader jumped out. And then
this is where Mix likes the ball right in there.
Exactly. And that's his move right there. He's made a career on that move. Walton coming to Phil on the rebound situation. And Freeman Williams. Quick. He is quick. Nader keeps it live. We got a loose ball foul. They'll say right here.
Jones over the top of Swin Nader that time. Bill Walton out here helping Paul Mihalik officiate.
A lot of people do. Everybody knows how to officiate the game better than the guy doing it. I guarantee you. All right. That's Sidney Wicks. You see them sag off of him. They'll give him the outside shot. They sag back. They front Walton on top. And Caldwell Jones handling him back from behind solo.
They got a move and pick on Sidney Wicks, so they return the favor right there. As a turnover, Philadelphia still down by 2 points.
51-49. Seattle leading the Pacific over LA by a half. What a great race they're having. Kansas City and Milwaukee. That'll be a beauty before it's all over. They've got 3 games left with each other. 3.5 separate now. On top, Caldwell. Maurice Cheeks underneath the Bobby Jones. And Walton with a rebound. Look at the outlet. And intercepted by Cheeks. They're really looking to pick off the outlet pass by both the big guys, Walton and Nader. Mix solo. And Nader and Walton both under there trying to zone that middle and take away that inside play, and they leave the outside open.
Walton made one of his great rebounds and outlets, but Maurice Cheeks, a great steal man, came right back like a defensive back, got it up, and they get 2 points from Steve Mix.
Back picked by Wicks. They switch on the defensive assignments, and Freeman Williams shoots it over the top of Mix that time. Well, they had a mismatch created underneath, didn't need it. 53-51 score of the basketball game. One of the better crowds of the year here in San Diego under very adverse conditions. Everything's sliding somewhere out here. You need water wings to get around. 20 seconds to play in the half. It's Julius Erving at halftime. 53-51. Mix on the crossover. Nader getting a shot at the big forward position now. Mix on the fadeaway.
That's his move. And when he can back you down, break you down, and then come up, he's going to try and get the ball up quickly.
And we got a what?
They got a backcourt foul on Lionel Hollins as he was pressuring Freeman Williams all the way up the court. So they'll still have a chance to go in with a lead with 3 seconds left in the ball game.
They're trying to just prevent them from getting the ball down and getting the last shot away. He's going to get it now on a backcourt foul. He'll get 2. Talking about those standings. In the Atlantic Division, Boston over this Philly team by 1. New York, even though they have struggled at times, they've showed moments of brilliance at times, and they've got some nice young players in that New York franchise with Cartwright in the middle. And, of course, Michael Ray Richardson we talked about, Ray Williams, Toby Knight. Good personnel coming up, a couple of good picks, and they're going to be right back in the thick of things.
Well, you talk about that. The race has turned into a 3-team race, possibly Houston, Indiana, and New York for that 6th and final spot.
Correct. Atlanta over San Antonio in that Central by 4. And the Hawks with a pretty good schedule favoring the rest of the month. Last shot this period. And at halftime, San Diego on the 2 free throws take a 2-point lead. The Clippers 55. The Philadelphia 76ers 53. Julius Erving is our guest. We're coming back with him when the NBA on Thursday night continues from San Diego.
Going out here. That's when you want to put a noose around your neck and hang yourself from a tree. You can't tell these guys what to do. That's like talking a different language. It's easy over here, but it's not so easy to transmit those thoughts to the players out there on the court. This team right here has had some problems. Gene Shue has done an excellent job, and Billy Cunningham's done an excellent job, too. So it will be interesting in the second half.
You're an honest man, Steve Jones. We'll be back for the start of the 3rd period right after a break for these words when the NBA on Thursday night continues from San Diego.
What makes a memory so special is that it happens only once, and then it's gone. But you can hold on to your memories vividly, beautifully with Fujifilm. Every day, around the world, 10 million memories are remembered on Fujifilm. Are your memories any less precious? then next time, get Fujifilm, because a memory happens only once.
When it comes to clean blades, Track 2 doesn't come close.
Atra doesn't come close.
Why are thousands of Track 2 and Atra users switching to Schick Ultrex? Watch. One push pushes out soap and stubble. Your twin blades start clean, sharp, shave after shave. Look, Ultrex slides on Track 2 razors, clicks on Atra razors.
Now this is really clean shaving.
With one push cleaning, nothing comes close to Schick's Super 2 Ultrex.
If a man's favorite threads prematurely lose their threads, and the seams in his slacks seem to disappear, then he needs clothes from Levi's Sportswear. Levi's slacks, blazers, and suits hold their great looks because they're sewn to the tough standards that made the Levi's name famous for durability. Men's clothes from Levi's Sportswear, where quality never goes out of style.
Wow, look at that, Dad. A 747.
And that's what I'm flying. It's an L-1011. Want to have a look inside?
Really?
If you like wide bodies, you're going to like TWA. Because the only wide bodies we fly are 747s and L-1011s, the ones people like most.
Mom, we better get off. Happy birthday, Tommy. We're going with Dad.
You're gonna like us. TWA. You're gonna like us.
We're back. Let's take a look at the statistics quickly. Julius Erving with quite a half. 7 of 11 from the floor, 18 points and 3 rebounds. Caldwell Jones did not score, had 8 rebounds. Dawkins with 10 points and 4 boards. A donut for Lionel Hollins. 2 for Maurice Cheeks. Bibby with 4. 7 for Bobby Jones with 3 rebounds. 8 for Doug Collins and 4 for Steve Mix. Philadelphia shoots 53% on 21 of 40. They were 11 of 12 at the line, 22 rebounds and 7 assists in that first half. Steve, how about running down San Diego?
Well, San Diego led in that game by Lloyd Free. He played 19 minutes and he came up with 14 points. We take a look at the team statistics. Field goal for both teams shooting very well. San Diego 49%, Philadelphia 52%. From the free throw line, Philadelphia has it better there, 91% to 50% for San Diego. The fouls are just about even in an even ball game. Philadelphia has the edge in rebounding, and Philadelphia has a couple of more turnovers. As I said in the scoring there, Sidney Wicks played 9 minutes, did not score. Excuse me, Bingo Smith played 9 minutes, did not score. Sidney Wicks played 16 and had 2 points. Walton in 12 minutes came up with 7 points and 5 rebounds. Ryan Taylor with 2 3-pointers had a total of 8 points in 17 minutes. Lloyd Free 19 minutes, 14 points and 7 of 13 shooting. Swin Nader came in 17 minutes of 5 of 7 shooting for 10 points. Joe Bryant was 3 of 5 for 6. Marvin Barnes played 8 minutes and did not score, and Freeman Williams came off the bench on 3 of 10 shooting to have 8 points.
55-53 the score at halftime. There's a bit of a delay here, and I was trying to pick up what it was, Steve. I'm not sure they were.
Lloyd Free wanted to have them check the position of the basket. He said that it's hanging out just a little bit too far, and maybe they're going to move it around. Swin Nader says, I got the muscle and I can just push it back.
Now that man can push it back. He puts the old shoulder to it, drives it back a couple of notches. Looks like a big old tackle putting his shoulder to the blocking sled.
Well, you know, that's one thing about a scorer. They can always tell when the basket is out of line. Lloyd Free stands at the free throw line and says, hey, it's okay.
You know, you don't think about that, but a lot of these fellas, when they come on the floor, they can tell if that basket is a little bent, the rim is a little bent, or the basket might be just a little bit out of line. It just kind of comes second nature to them. You know where that basket's supposed to be. You know what that rim is supposed to look like, where the plane is in relationship to being parallel to the floor. It's amazing how many times you go to an NBA game and see one of the players pick up one of the possible deficiencies with the way the basket is set.
Well, the naked eye is probably the best microscope going around, and when the players have played this game as long as they have, and one of the probably the most squeamish players about that is Rick Barry. He will pick up anything that's wrong on a court in seconds.
Dr. Jones, I thank you. Washington 118, Cleveland 115. Elvin Hayes with 30 led in that game. Smith had 24 for the Cleveland Cavaliers. That must be Willie Smith. Back on top to Bobby Smith, former Cavalier, and he gets 2, and now the Clippers by 4. Phoenix 125, Detroit 116, a game you saw earlier. Westfall 49, Long 21. 57-53 to score the ball game here. Caldwell Jones couldn't get a hand on the pass intended for him. Wicks deflects Taylor to Smith. Brian Taylor with 2 3-pointers. Back to Lloyd Free. Works on Lionel Hollins. Missing. Rebound, but big Caldwell Jones. That's number 9.
That's one of the best kept secrets of the 76ers right there. Caldwell Jones' defensive rebounding.
Does a nice job, doesn't he? Always in there. He came into the league the same year that Doug Collins and Ernie DiGregorio came in, believe it or not. Trying to get to Irving and leave that little hesitation shot underneath there and a foul call.
Well, Irving trying to post up on Bobby Smith, and that time he couldn't get the position right in front. He just gave a nod to Cheeks to lob it, and he just took the ball on the move before Wicks could get there, tipped it up, so he goes to the line for a pair.
Irving played 19 minutes in the first half at 18 points. That's productive. Sensational individual. Very devoted guy to his family and involved in some civic affairs out east in Philadelphia. Missing on the first. 3-time ABA scoring champion. Boy, the stories about him back in his early years, unbelievable. Misses a deuce. 57-53. That hurts. He is 4 for 6 at the line tonight.
One thing I can tell you about their stories, they're fact, not fiction.
You were there.
I hate to be Edward R. Murrow, whoever that guy was.
He wasn't bad. Here's Bobby Smith with a driving hook and an offensive foul. Bingo. Bingo gets himself another foul. Bobby with 3.
He's got 4, and they're trying to get Joe Bryant in the game very quickly. He's got to tie his shoes up, and he's going to come out on the court. Bingo Smith just has not been able to play in this ball game. Irving trying to take advantage of his size and quickness.
Well, this, of course, is where you see what kind of metal your bench is made out of. You take the starter out of there and lose him in a situation like foul trouble, and you've got to go to somebody who's got to perform. And right now, it's going to be all Jelly Bean Joe's responsibility. He gets
another foul right back the other way as Daryl Dawkins just bulls his way back into Bill Walton, trying to get that position. He had it, and he just kept working his way back inside. He's going to come out of the ball game, and Bobby Jones will be hustled in as he picks up his 4th foul.
The big man, Daryl Dawkins, Chocolate Thunder, who resides in Chocolate Paradise. All that good stuff. He's got all that language down. His description of his dunks, whew. I wonder if I have that somewhere here. I have to read that off for you. That's worth a chuckle. Down to the big man, Redhead. Boy, I tell you, he's got that spot picked out on that backboard, Steve. Most guys try to shoot it pure, but Big Bill loves that sweet spot.
Well, he's done it much better tonight, and he's much more under control than he was against the Nets. He seemed to be looking for the shot and forcing it. Tonight, he's taking the ball where he knows he can shoot it well.
He's got 9. Bobby Jones in the drive, and foul that time by Sidney Wicks.
Sidney Wicks pushing underneath. The 76ers have been stymied again.
I don't know if you're ready for this. Are you ready for this?
Well, let's see what you're going to lay on me, and I'll tell you whether I'm ready.
Daryl Dawkins' description of his rim-shattering, backboard-busting, he calls it chocolate thunder flying, Robenzine crying, teeth shaking, glass breaking, rump roasting, bun toasting, wham bam, I am the king of jam. That's Daryl Dawkins. He's got it all, doesn't he? He broke that backboard. What do? They took the pieces of the backboard, put them in little plastic bags, and sold them as Daryl's Diamonds. 59-55. Lloyd Free with it. Joe Bryant, played by Bobby Jones.
While you were reading that, Marvin Barnes snuck in the game for Sidney Wicks, who had picked up another foul, his 4th.
Bryant going high off the pump fake, and Caldwell Jones outstretching Brian Taylor for the rebound. And Bobby Jones will get to Dr. J. These names shouldn't confuse you. They should be household words by now. And Lionel Hollins with that little left-handed. Has he lost something, Steve? Is he not quite as quick as he used to be? Or is it just because he's not yet back to the conditioning situation that he was?
No, I don't think he's lost any of his quickness. He had tremendous quickness at the start of the season, was playing well. Now, that's a shot that Walton shot a lot of air balls on against the New Jersey Nets, and that's not one of his real good shots.
59-57. Clippers still with a 2-point lead. Caldwell challenged by Big Walton. And Big Bill that time on the foul off the attempt by Caldwell Jones. Jones is not all that big physically, but he takes it in here this time.
Well, Caldwell Jones is a tremendous sleeper, and as I said before, very underrated. That time he challenges Walton, takes it up with 2 hands. He goes to the free throw line. Hollins made the play possible by penetrating down very close and in deep.
7'1", 213 pounds. There's Caldwell. Albany State. And not bad. That's that baby up there. He's got a 65% career free throw percentage, a second-round pick in 1973.
You know, he's a favorite here. He was with the San Diego Conquistadors and still has a house here.
Who was the coach of the team then?
The big fella. That's his daddy, the Chamberlain.
The very large one. Larger than life. Wilt Chamberlain. Marvin Barnes. Marvin's had his share of trouble. Hopefully he can shake it, start anew. Lloyd Free checked, and Maurice Cheeks with a foul.
As they did at the top of the first period, they're calling things very closely here as both teams trying to apply some defensive pressure. Not good fouls by Cheeks, Dawkins.
59-58 by 1. San Diego. Walton played by Caldwell Jones. Irving trying to look to cheat toward the middle in the event that he has to go over and help out. And Walton on the miss. And Bobby Jones with a rebound. Loops it ahead. Coming this way. Right at us.
Boy, you got real good hands, Eddie Doucette.
Yeah,
huh?
not bad. One with my left hand, too. Besides, didn't spill the water or anything.
They had a break going that time, and Brian Taylor, with his quick hands and good jumping ability, saved it.
59-58 with 8:31 in the third period. The doctor. And Walton with a rebound. There he goes quickly. Bryant was actually fouled in the backcourt and got away with it. Philadelphia not called for Brian Taylor and Bobby Jones. And a backcourt foul right here by Marvin Barnes, I believe, or Lloyd Free. Who is it?
Marvin Barnes. No, you got Lloyd Free. You're right. So 76ers are going to the free throw line. That's the easiest place to score from. As he got tracked across the head by Lloyd Free pretty good. They're doing a good job of making the Clippers take some tough shots from the outside. And anytime you're putting the ball up from there, you better shoot a good percentage or the other team's going to get a chance to run on you.
Philadelphia doing what they wanted to do coming in here, trying to create situations on inside penetration. Although this particular free throw circumstance is not indicative of that. They have been at the free throw line 20 times, and they're now 16 for 20 at the line, while San Diego is only 3 of 6 on their own home floor. You don't usually see it that way, do you?
Well, the styles of play really dictate the calls, and Irving is the guy that penetrates, and they've had a lot of players. Cheeks, Hollins going inside as Lloyd Free takes it right over the top.
Well, that time they exposed Caldwell Jones. They snuck him out on top, and then as he tried to cover up, go back down to cover the big man, Free was left solo, and he took the popper from outside. Lionel Hollins. Marvin Barnes deflecting to Walt, right up the middle of Brian Taylor. Right wing to Free. Crossover, tricky dribble. Comes underneath, and a foul by Cheeks, and Free will go to the line.
Well, that's one of the few times I've seen that dribble between the legs used effectively, as Billy Cunningham looks very calm there. The ball will come out, and watch that, right there between the legs, and just keep on going, never breaking stride, and he gets the foul.
Maurice Cheeks with his second, Philadelphia with 2, and Lloyd Free at the line. A lot of conversation in the newspapers, media out here, about the contract squabble that Free is having with the Clippers. He feels as if he is being grossly underpaid. I can tell you that he is in excess of 6 figures, which by most standards would be good, but by NBA standards, it's probably the figure that we're talking about for Free is probably a little bit less than what the supposed superstar is making, and Lloyd considers himself that. Julius falling away and missing. Bobby Jones. And there's been a lot of pro and con on whether Lloyd should get a bump in the Rays. Here's Taylor with a three-pointer. And Cheeks with a rebound. I think the blue-collar guy doesn't quite understand what Lloyd's complaining about. Well, then again, the more affluent individual probably does.
If you talk about his contemporaries, as Hollins gets fouled right there, and they don't call it, and that brings Cunningham off the bench.
Caldwell Jones. Well, he did a great job of getting up over their big man, including Walt, with the hook. 63-62. How do you feel about it?
Well, I think Lloyd Free is not being paid according to what his contemporaries get as he gets that shot blocked inside by Caldwell Jones.
They run the break. That's Lionel Hollins. Goaltending call. Goaltending call.
That's what Philly wants to do, and he gets a great pass there, and Hollins just takes it in, knowing that he's got the glass in front of him. Joe Bryant will come over the top and pin it. There's goaltending, and Philadelphia takes the lead.
Timeout, 6:47 in the third period. 76ers 64, San Diego 63. And this is the Thursday night NBA action from San Diego.
You dance on a river of wood, and the spinning shapes in the cold, dark water are your only bridge home. So you keep on dancing until the last log is in place and you can head for Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, we've got the beer, Miller beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
There are many ways you can reach financial freedom. And to us, they're all familiar. That's why we can give you the right direction. Take you safely across barriers. And give you the resources to reach your financial goals. Merrill Lynch, a breed apart.
Philadelphia 64, San Diego 63 at Madison Square Garden Sports. Happy to tell you that the New York Islanders will be playing the New York Rangers on Sunday, February 24th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. National Hockey League action right here on Madison Square Garden Sports.
To answer your question about Lloyd Free, I think he's grossly underpaid, and what his contemporaries get and what he's made, the contribution he's made to the ball club, I certainly think management ought to do something for them. Now, what they do and when they do it certainly could probably alleviate a lot of the problems that they're having here in San Diego.
And it has been an ongoing problem for some time now. And it kind of ran concurrent with the problems that George Gervin was having down in San Antonio. Lloyd didn't show up for practice, didn't show up for a plane trip. He's got Nader in the middle now and Walton on the bench. Caldwell Jones, Julius Erving on Marvin Barnes, Bryant, and Bobby Jones. Marvin makes a good move to the hoop. Doesn't get the shot. Ball bang loose. Julius Erving with an outlet. What a lead that time to Lionel Hollins. To the right wing. And Bobby Jones with a jam stop. Oh, that was a beautiful execution. From the moment it came off the board with Erving going to Hollins and in traffic getting the ball to Bobby Jones. Sensational.
That's a tremendous break and just shows some of the skills that Erving has. He got that ball out very quickly.
They make it look so easy. Bryant. Marvin Barnes is sacked, give him the outside shot. Can he shoot that shot?
He can shoot that shot, but Marvin is not yet in game shape, and this will put a great deal of... Oh, he turned it over.
Erving turning it over on a 2-2 flyaway.
But he had the breaking situation that he wanted and probably would have created something that would have brought 12,000 plus to their feet.
Julius Erving. His great move is coming baseline, going all the way under the hoop while in midair, turning and reversing under the basket and stuffing it. I've heard they've stopped basketball games in the old ABA just to see him do that. Crowd come out of the stands, oohing and eyeing. That's an ooh-ah, that's for sure. That's Barnes. Nice follow by Marvin Barnes.
That's one of the things Marvin Barnes, when he's in condition, can do as well as anybody in professional basketball. Rebound and put the shot back up. He has tremendous quickness.
66-65 with 5.5 to play here in the third. Caldwell Jones on Big Swen Nader. Philadelphia shooting 51%. San Diego 45%. A steal. That is the fourth steal by the Philadelphia 76ers in the game. Clippers have had 7. And Erving, the man who is credited with a theft. Backdoor. Good back pick that time by Hollins, and Caldwell comes up shy. Lionel Hollins came down, set a good pick there, and Caldwell able to slip around the pick to the back door and pulls up shy in the finger roll. Nice move by Jelly Bean, and a 2-point goaltend call. Hey, that was some move by Bryant.
Well, Joe Bryant may have traveled, but he got away with it as he twisted and turned and got that ball up in the air. I don't know if he would have gone down, but Caldwell Jones helped it out. It's a 1-point ball game.
68-67. Philadelphia by 1 with 4:50 to play here in the third. Bobby Jones, clear out drive on Marvin Barnes. Reject by Marvin. We get a foul call. Steve, Jack McMahon, the assistant coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, had a mild heart attack a couple days ago. is resting in a Philadelphia hospital now, and they say he's going to be all right. But McMahon's one of those great characters that's been around this league for a long time, and we certainly hope that he's back in a hurry.
Highly thought of, and Billy Cunningham certainly would like to have him back. He's done a tremendous job in helping evaluate talent. Marvin Barnes just showed you that he can still get up very quickly. Even though he got called for that foul, Bobby Jones made a quick move, and when the ball was let go, Jones had it rejected by Barnes.
70-67, Philly by 3. 15 points for Bobby Jones. Lloyd Free shooting over 3 of the 76ers. And with it is Caldwell Jones. Tough defense to shoot over. Everybody keys on Lloyd Free. He gets the ball. They swarm to him like bees to honey. Look at the dot. He gets out there, goose steps it into the crowd, then misses it. And Joe Bryant comes away with it.
Well, Irving is yet to score here in the second half. He had those free throws, but he hasn't got but a couple of tough shots here in the third period.
I want to see another ooh-ah. Joe Bryant.
Marvin Barnes calling for it. He wants to clear a side.
Marvin says, give me the ball. Taylor to Barnes. A set play. Marvin on the in and out. Bobby Jones. Give it to Cheeks. They come curling out of there. Lob cross trying to go to the doctor and broken up by Marvin Barnes. Barnes played at Providence.
This is the type of game that will get you in shape in a hurry if you're not in it, or they'll get you an oxygen tent.
I hear you. Dr. J blocked by Marvin Barnes. Caldwell Jones and Lloyd Free. The little man in the land of the Giants comes out of there with it. 70-67. Free wants to do it and doesn't. And Barnes does. And a foul. Barnes is really playing hard underneath. Giving it his very best shot. And he'll go to the line. Marvin Barnes.
Well, he made a great block at the other end. As I told you, he can go to the boards as well as anyone. Irving comes over and makes a tremendous block. Caldwell Jones appears to be the player that got the foul that time. And Barnes will be on the free throw line and a chance to get them within 1 point.
6'9", 225.
That's a sign of fatigue right there. That first ball was a little bit short. See if he gets a little bit more legs into it.
Played in the ABA, drafted by Detroit, played in Buffalo, came to San Diego as part of a deal that sent Nate Archibald, Billy Knight, and draft picks to Boston. So this is his second turn here in San Diego. Nader on the miss. Barnes fighting to keep it live. They're on the trampoline. And the rebound finally off the deflection to Caldwell. Steal by Joe Bryant. Goose steps into the crowd. Good, but an offensive foul. Offensive foul on Joe Bryant. And a look of anguish on the face of Lloyd Free.
That's a tremendous play right here by Joe Bryant. Irving has a dead breakaway if they can get that ball to him. He comes back down, working on his own. As you'll see him challenge Holland as they get in the middle. A little bit of a hesitation. Holland is there. Now he just barrels and puts that arm up. And a good call by Paul Mahala.
Good call indeed. 70-67 with 3:35 in the third and a timeout. Back when the NBA on Thursday night continues. All right, you see the chicken now serving a little refreshment here for the official. He's got some kind of a trick. He's going to fix him the real thing. Happy New Year's to you, Mike Mathis.
Well, I can tell you one thing. The chicken has all kinds of things up his sleeves and in his legs in that costume right there.
He's something else, isn't he? He's not through yet. The waiter. The waiter. Is he going good or what? 70-67. Don't forget, great sporting events on Madison Square Garden Sports. Throughout our local cable systems around the country. Chicken going over to our cameraman. Give him some help. Don't forget about the NBA on CBS. You're looking at NBA basketball on Thursday night, but on CBS on Sunday, February 24th at 1 o'clock Eastern, Milwaukee at Kansas City, a big Midwest Division matchup. And San Diego, these same Clippers and the Chicago Bulls of Jerry Sloan. That's the NBA on CBS Sunday, February 24th. I'll drink to that. Amen. 70-67, 3:21 in the third.
Now the 76ers will go to a set play as they get Hollins with the jumper from the outside. Bobby Jones tips it free.
Sidney Wicks. Irving tried to dish it off. Nader was right there, and it's volleyball time. Man, they're in the toaster down there, popping up and down. 3:08 to play in the third, 70-67.
Gene Shue said it's about time that you blow the whistle as Irving gets a call over the top. I was going to say that they had to bring back Sidney Wicks, who's got 4 fouls, to give Marvin Barnes a blow, who's done a tremendous job on the board.
Guys down there look like ping pong balls in a wind tunnel, bouncing up and down. 2:57. Deflected loose, and Brian Taylor out of there with it. He's going to shoot it for 3. He's got it again. That is his third three-point play. And San Diego, just like that, back deuce at 70-70.
Well, Irving deflected that ball, and Bobby Jones couldn't pick it up as Irving headed the other way. And Brian Taylor doing what he does very well.
He's got 3 three-pointers in the game. Julius Irving. Not this time. Big Nader on the imaginary ladder. Joe Bryant in a crowd. Trapped by Bobby Jones. Gets the ball to Wicks. And kept live underneath, and Dr. J comes away with it 1-on-3. Double up. Got that thing on a string, doesn't he? Maurice Cheeks back to Lionel Hollins. That's a shot he makes most of the time, and I'm sure he will once he gets his legs back under him. Brian Taylor to Wicks, backdooring. Find the jam, and look what I found. Caldwell Jones at the
Caldwell
junction.
Jones made a tremendous block that time. He knew what Sidney Wicks had on his mind. He went way up. You see a meeting at the summit right here. Watch Jones go up and get nothing but ball as Wicks pushes off. You can't block it any better than that.
That is no peace conference either, believe me. 42% from the floor of the Clippers, 49 for Philadelphia. But Philly with a big advantage at the line on 18 for 22. And the Clippers doing very little free throw shooting in the game. Rebounding 39-38, just about dead even. As Wicks at the line gets 1. Philadelphia the edge on assists. Turnovers 1 to San Diego. And with the penalty situation in here with 2:03 to play in the third, Wicks will get the penalty shot. San Diego has stolen the ball 8 times.
Well, both teams doing a good job of stealing the ball and pressuring defensively. The score indicates that it's been a very tight ball game, with Philadelphia making a run here in the second half to get control, and they've lost it back to the Clippers.
72-70 score the ball game. Wicks with a pair of free throws. That's Steve Mix back in. Henry Bibby off the back screen by Caldwell Jones, and shooting it in on Lloyd Free. Just a simple rub off that time, and shooting the shot off the screen. 72-72 on the reversal. Got it. And he'll try and add right now, and a chance to pump out on top. 74-72, 127, or make that 137 to play in the third, and Free at the line with 20.
You'll see tremendous strength in the legs and arms. Free takes the ball back and just keeps it going to the basket. And it looked like the ball was blocked. It went in anyway. He misses the first one on that 3-point, and the second one.
Got to make those free throws. They haven't had all that many. 7 of 15 for San Diego. They've been shooting more free throws in the third period, and of course, obvious that Gene Shue told them to try and penetrate, create more situations on the way to the basket. There's Bibby with a good fake on Free. Pancakes it up there. Bobby Jones in the follow on the iron, and Wicks with it to Free. In on Cheeks. Let him go. Nobody to pick him up, and he missed it. Cheeks tried to rotate up, and Free was solo, and Nader gets it back and puts it in. 76-72. 12 points for big Swen Nader. The big kid from Holland. That's Bibby.
76ers trying to run some set plays down and deep and get themselves going offensively as they've broken down and can't seem to get the ball in the basket, and good pressure from San Diego.
Cross-court lob, don't get it away in time. 24-second violation. They set up a double on the left side of the lane, and then Mix rotated off the top of the double, came through the lane and couldn't see the pass. Couldn't get the pass. So now with a 76-72 deficit, Philadelphia defensively with Caldwell playing on Nader. Bryant. Philadelphia forward switching defensively underneath. Mix on the deflection trying to get it back, and the ball into the hands of Lloyd Free.
The ball hit the side of the rim there, so Philadelphia's going to get the ball. Lloyd Free comes out after taking 2 real tough shots. And they have a 4-point lead with 29 seconds to go. Freeman Williams will come in.
And the mayor of Chocolate Paradise is on also.
The mayor.
The mayor. 76-72. Can you imagine his cabinet meetings? Move aside. 20 seconds in the third. Cheeks. Brian Taylor trying to shade him sideline.
Well, they were trying to hope for one shot.
Mix solo all by himself. They had to check him inside. They go to Dawkins with 5, with 4 overlays. Follow on it? No. Nader with an outlet pass. Great pass to Brian Taylor. What a pass by Swen Nader. And Taylor is down and turned the left ankle. At the end of 3, San Diego by 6. And the Clippers have come back. San Diego 78, Philadelphia 72. The Thursday night NBA game of the week from San Diego.
Toyota feeling. From the moment you drive the all-new 1980 Toyota Corolla liftback, you'll get the feeling. The thrill of a Toyota Corolla new from the wheels up with a peppier 1.8-liter engine, more comfort and standard equipment than before, and sporty new slipstream styling. See your Toyota dealer today and catch the feeling.
Oh, what a feeling to drive Toyota.
Just an ache. You know, it's like just a constant aching.
Thaddeus Golas has a headache.
You're probably not really operating at full potential when you have a headache.
Will you try extra strength Tylenol?
Sure.
Compare regular aspirin, the leading extra ingredient pain reliever, and extra strength Tylenol. Extra strength Tylenol has more medicine.
I feel relieved. Feel good.
What pain reliever would you take next time?
Extra strength Tylenol, I'm sure.
Extra strength Tylenol. It's aspirin free, and you can't buy a more potent pain reliever without a prescription.
You're the Pepsi generation, the spirit of today. And with every taste of life that's new, well, that Pepsi spirit shines right through. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in.
The Clippers have lost 4 games in a row, trying to break a 3-game losing streak at home. 5 of the last 6 and 11 of the last 13 games. They've got to get back on the track if they're going to make a run for a playoff spot. Battling with Portland. Phoenix won tonight, so the Phoenix Suns now have upped their record to 20 games over 500, 41-21, and move within 3.5 of idle Seattle and within 3 of idle Los Angeles in the Pacific Division. Washington with a win, way under 500 at 26-34, 19 games off the pace of the Boston Celtics. My, what a difference a year makes. Boston tail ending it last year. Washington not doing much better this year. Dawkins in the mix with a power layup. And foul.
They've got their muscle beach front line in with Dawkins, Steve Mix, and Caldwell Jones up front. A great deal of size, and that time it went to work on the offensive board. Billy Cunningham going to try to get some stuff down in deep.
You got to get the sandbags at the other end of the floor when those 3 are down into the basket. This building tilts. 78-72. And Mix's free throw breaks a 6-point run by San Diego from a 72-72 tie to 78-72 and now 73. Collins coming in. There he is. Doug Collins, who has had his injury problems. 6'6", 180, 7-year man. Illinois State. And now 78-74. Collins a year ago averaged 18.5 points a game. Played in only 47 games, however. Injury prone. This year averaging 15-2. Freeman Williams. Sidney Wicks played by Mix. Great story, Steve Mix. Cut. Played in the Continental League. Finally on his 3rd or 4th try made it. Stuck. Pretty good player. He gets a foul, however.
Well, he's an example of being in the right spot at the right time. He went to Philadelphia when they were trying to recover from that horrendous season when they only won 5 or 6 ball games.
Took him 4 years to make it in the NBA. Signed originally in 69, cut loose, came back, 73 made. Open lane boulevard, yellow brick road, and a miss by Freeman Williams. Bibby trying to go down to Mix.
Well, they may run out of forwards up front. They've got another player with 4 fouls. Joe Bryan picks up his 4th. Sidney Wicks has 4. Bobby Smith also has 4. Marvin Barnes has 3.
Mix, Bibby, Collins, and tried to matador the defense that time. Brian Taylor caught foul. Getting heavy on fouls now.
Third team foul very quickly with less than a minute to play. I mean, not even a minute completed here. San Diego stands to put themselves in big trouble by allowing the 76ers to go to that free throw line.
Mix, Caldwell Jones. He's going to shoot it deep. All right. How about that? Caldwell
Make it or
Jones.
sit down. That's the way the coaches look at that.
Tonight's attendance 13,472. A hair away from a sellout. What a difference that Walton and a good draw makes here at San Diego. And Freeman Williams, high-scoring machine who averaged 38.5 as a junior in college at Portland State, makes it 80-76 San Diego. Backhand, a reverse that time. Beautifully done by Dawkins, using the body to protect the ball, and big Swen Nader. 12 points for Double D. Brian Taylor sets up outside that three-point line. You got to go out and play him when he does that. He's got 3 three-pointers tonight. Dawkins on the switch. Brian Taylor backed into the corner. To Wicks, to Bryant. Mismatch underneath somewhere. There it is. Collins on Wicks. Tip by Swen Nader. Big guy makes it 82-78. Nader now at 14. Dawkins to Bibby.
Dawkins wants the ball inside. He's got a mismatch. All he has to do is just turn and overpower his man, Joe Bryant.
And he doesn't. He turns and shoots it on a fadeaway. Well, that's one of the things that I think that Billy Cunningham has been most concerned about. You got a guy that big, you turn, you like to have him take it to the hoop. Three-point play, won't go. Freeman Williams with a miss, Nader with a rebound. Brian Taylor, three-pointer, off the iron. Rebound by Bryant. He's going to settle for two-point range. 2 shots that they get right there, and they get the ball back out. Not good rebounding that time for the 76ers. 82-80, San Diego by a pair. 9:26 in the ball game. Bryant, Freeman Williams trying to post up on Bibby. They stay right with him on the crossover. Taylor with a miss. They've had four shots and can't put one down. Bibby, double up, offensive foul. Bibby knocking down Joe Bryant. Freeman Williams will inbound the ball. Well, that's going to get Lloyd free in the ball game, but Henry Bibby that time going against a bigger Joe Bryant puts his hand up to protect the ball. Bryant does a tremendous job of acting and goes to the hardwood. Lloyd free is in. Brian Taylor is out. 15 turnovers now for Philadelphia. San Diego with 11. These are unofficial numbers we're giving to you, but they're close. 82-80 with 9. 13 to play in the ball game. Philadelphia with a big advantage at the free throw line. Although now the gap finally starting to narrow. Rebounding about dead even. Williams on the come around. They give it a free. Played by Bibby on the rub off. Free loose for a moment. Won't shoot it. Goes to Freeman. Nader in the low hole. On Dawkins in foul trouble. Left hand hooking, no. Follow jam by Joe Bryant over Caldwell Jones. Jones not looking for that man coming from behind. And Bryant with a two-hand jammer. And Philly wants a timeout. That's called blockout. And being aware of your man. And 8:50 to play in the ball game will send Philadelphia back to Billy Cunningham. San Diego 84, Philadelphia 80. And we'll be back with a Thursday night NBA action from San Diego.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places. Good luck.
Holiday Inn makes me feel like a winner. That's why my team chooses Holiday Inn. No surprises. Beds always comfortable, always. Big rooms. And there's a Holiday Inn hotel near just about everywhere we play. Well, let's go call them like we see them.
You have to see them to call them. Holiday Inn is #1 for people pleasing.
When it comes to clean blades, Track 2 doesn't come close.
Atra doesn't come close.
Why are thousands of Track 2 and Atra users switching to Schick Ultrex? Watch. One push pushes out soap and stubble. Your twin blades start clean, sharp, shave after shave. Look, Ultrex slides on Track 2 razors, clicks on Atra razors.
Now this is really clean shaving.
With one push cleaning, nothing comes close to Schick Super 2 Ultrex.
Your man just paid a visit to us. Chicken was on my table here.
Yeah, he's not a very thoughtful guy, just kicking water and everything all over everybody.
Got to wet up those feathers, doesn't he?
Trying to incite the crowd here to
He's down there feeling Daryl Dawkins' bicep now. Don't mess with him, Mr. Chicken. All right, 84-80, Madison Square Garden Sports. Golden Gloves boxing quarterfinals on Tuesday, February 26th at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. All those promo cards go down the drain. Look at them. Chicken, spattering chicken juice all over us here. 84-80. Collins, 84-82. We got a ball game here tonight, folks. Good one. Doug Collins with 10. Lloyd Free, Jelly Bean Joe. Big Swen Nader. Looking to Wicks. Bryant on a backup. On Julius Erving. Way off. Nader with it. As good as a pass. Had it gone, we got a foul call. Dawkins with yet another.
Dawkins picked up a foul that time, but they got the ball to come long off of Wicks's ball, and Swen Nader doing an excellent job on the offensive board. Big on the defensive board, but tonight he's camped inside. He gave Dawkins a little push before. Dawkins reached in with the hand. That's his 5th foul. Caldwell Jones got a quick breather, and Daryl Dawkins will go out.
Yeah, he didn't get too much time. Dawkins is going out of there now with a little word for Mike Mathis.
Well, what he's telling Mike Mathis is he pushed me before the ball ever went up.
Probably also told him, hey, Mike, these guys came to see me play some ball. Leave me in here. 84-82. Yeah, flair for the theatrics. Lloyd Free. Caldwell Jones with a nice rebound. In a crowd. Gives it over to Bibby.
Like I said, Caldwell Jones very quietly on the defensive board has done a great job for Philadelphia.
Mix. Nice pass by Bryant to Free. And 86-82. The Mix miss set up the 2-point, which is actually a 4-point turnaround. 22 points for Lloyd Free. Averages 30+ per game. Mix to Bibby. On the double for Collins. It breaks down. He isolates and goes solo on Freeman Williams. Steam shove a layup, and Freeman with a foul. Williams has worked very, very hard on defense that they said was lacking when he came into the league.
Joe doesn't want to come out of the game. He looked at Gene Pugh and says, Gene, give me a little bit of run. He comes out of the ball game. Bill Walton comes in. They go for their big lineup with Walton and Nader inside. Collins will go to the free throw line and a chance to keep the game close. San Diego picks up their 14th foul with 7:27 left in the final period.
They've got their jumbos in there now. Big Walton and Nader. Number 1 on the left and right, respectively. Collins at the line. And there's the big redhead. Big Bill Walton. What would a healthy Walton would have done for this team early. Did not play at all in '79. Nader. And Nader gets a hand on that pumpkin, squeeze a little air out of it. And Lloyd Free will bring it over. 86-83. Back screen by Walton, won't use it. Freeman Williams to Nader back door. Reject by Caldwell. Up to Doug Collins. Out ahead on the fly. Trying to go to Cheeks, deflected, and another steal. Lloyd Free to Walton. He's got Williams on the left. There he be. Blocked again by Caldwell Jones. One of the leaders in the NBA in block shots. Caldwell Jones, coming into the game, was number 8 in blocks with an average of 2.12 per game.
Well, Caldwell Jones picked up a foul here, but just shows you his tremendous defensive abilities. He goes right up there as Freeman Williams tries to challenge him. Looked like a good block to me. And the second one where he's got a bad whistle on, he picked up his 4th foul, and the 76ers are in trouble in the center position.
Little lather working for Freeman Williams. And he makes on the first. Williams, as we told you, very prolific scorer from Portland State, 6'4", 195. Led the NC2A in college, 38.8 as a junior, 35.9 as a senior.
Well, it's time for Dr. Irving to go to work right now. They have not gotten a point out of it here in the second half. He had 18 in the first and has not gotten anything down.
Break out the stethoscope. They try and go to the doctor. And Walton coming over from the weak side, going to get called.
Sidney Wicks on a hole.
Mathis is going to get the ball back.
San Diego is now in the penalty. So Irving will get 2.
Walton trying to take charge underneath, and Dr. J will go to the line. 88-83, Philadelphia trailing it by 5.
Sidney Wicks picks up his 5th foul.
Well, San Diego had themselves tied, all locked in at 72-72. And now Irving says, hey, give me a little bit more time, Swen.
I don't know, somebody moved back there. It might have been one of those cheerleaders or something waving. Irving held the ball up. He still has his 1+ the penalty.
Crowd helping out now. The doctor.
That's his first point of the second half.
Yeah, he's been shut down pretty good here in the second. Very well-spoken individual. Sure that when it's all over, as far as a player is concerned, he'll make a great spokesman for someone somewhere. 20 points in the game for Irving, averaging 26.4 per. Hope you enjoyed the interview with him at halftime tonight. Lloyd Free lost the dribble and trying to double up on the ball. Free gets it back. Wicks, nice pass to Nader. What a pass by Wicks to Nader to find him open to make it 90-85. We're down to 6:26 in the ball game. Collins, not this time. Nader and Walton, they cordon it off and they go midcourt free to Williams, 2-on-2. And we get a foul call on Doug Collins. Freeman continues on through with the shot. Had it gone, it would have been good. It did not. He'll go to the line.
Well, Bobby Jones comes in the ball game and Steve Mix goes out. They haven't gotten anything from the outside, and that allows San Diego to run. This time, Free gets the ball over to the quick Freeman Williams, and he goes right on Doug Collins, who never gets set. Freeman is challenging him all the way, and he goes to the line.
Almost 1 year ago to the night, San Diego beat Philadelphia by 1. It'll be interesting to see how this one turns out and how close. Williams at the line, 13 points in it. Lots of great NBA games in your area this weekend. Not been and see one. Boy, this league is getting more and more exciting, and as we get down close to playoff time, these games are sensational. I don't think I've ever enjoyed the league as much as I have this year. 92-85, 6 minutes to play in the game.
Well, the races are all very competitive as they look for Doug Collins, and he delivers.
Good screen that time, taking out both Nader and Walton. And popped the guard out on top of the screen. Freeman Williams. No, Bobby Jones, 92-87. Good transition by San Diego. That's kept him in it. And Collins trying to wrap around on the reverse that time. Got the ball hung up.
Billy Cunningham wants a timeout. Julius Irving was open on the wing, and Doug Collins never looked that way.
And now Cunningham looking over, waiting for Collins to come to him. And he knows he made a mistake. And Cunningham doesn't say anything to Doug. He just gives him the hard look. Timeout. 5:44. You know that line about how looks can kill? There's your score. We're coming back when the NBA on Thursday night continues. .544 to play in the game. Let's watch the chicken.
Watching these guys out here play. Just a poor man's imitation of Julius Irving.
Are they that humorous? I'll tell you, he's got some great bits. You got to see him out at the baseball park. It's sensational.
Well, I'm sure Billy Cunningham has told Doug Collins, make the easy play.
And we are back, and there's the score. Philadelphia trailing San Diego 92-87. 5:44 to play. Julius Irving will be 30 years old tomorrow. Did you know that? That's right. Seems like he's been around a lot longer than that. Have a happy birthday, Doctor. 92-87 with 5:44 to play in the basketball game. Freeman Williams will inbound the ball to Lloyd Free. And get it back. Turnovers. Philadelphia 17, San Diego 12. And they could become very important late here in the game. That is Lloyd Free. Boy, I'm going to tell you, he really got up in the air in that one. Tipped by Walton, didn't go. Shoved by Irving, no foul call. Cheeks trying to curl out of the backcourt.
In the backcourt right there. Wicks has an astonished look on his face. But if he doesn't try to make the steal right then, they have a dead breakaway. Gene Shue not happy with the call. San Diego had a couple of attempts as they put their big men on the board. Joe Bryant will come back in the ball game as Sidney Wicks comes out.
San Diego with 4 timeouts left. Philadelphia with 3. And Maurice Cheeks will go to the free throw line. Billy Cunningham, the coach of the 76ers, took over here 2 years ago on November 4th of 77. He has got himself some team. And they have stockpiled draft choices between now and 1985 at an incredible number. Something like 10 or 13 #1 picks between now and 1985. You recall that number, Steve?
Well, I don't know what the number is, but I know that Billy Cunningham is certainly set on getting his team. He inherited Gene Chu's team, and he's putting together his team right now. And one of his players is Maurice Cheeks. He's very much in love with him.
92-89 within 3. San Diego's led by as many as 12, trailed by as many as 3. 42% for San Diego from the floor, 46 for Philadelphia. There's Big Bill. Caldwell defending. Kenny. Yes, he does. Walton gets it back. Good hustle by the redhead.
Bad
again.
shot.
Forcing it that time. Saved by Bryant to Walton.
Well, Billy Cunningham just tied in knots right then as they get Walton to take a couple of tough shots, and then they don't hustle back and get the ball, and San Diego has another chance to go back up to a 5-point advantage.
Working on the clock now with 9 seconds on the little guy. Walton with a turn off the iron. Walton missed 3 shots in that sequence. Bobby Jones with a rebound. 2 years ago, he was a sick man. Had a reoccurring problem with dizzy spells and headaches while he was in Denver. Bobby with a pull-up off the advance and then backed up and then missed the shot. But he seems to be all right now. Medication got him under control.
He had medication, but it might have also been a combination of the very thin air up there. He has somewhat of an anemic condition, and that kind of emphasized it as they try to run a pick and roll over there. Caldwell Jones picks up his 5th foul out on the outside, and they definitely have a problem. Billy Cunningham has to be very, very concerned about what to do in the middle right now. Jones has done a tremendous job on the defensive boards and blocking shots. He's got Dawkins sitting over there with 5 fouls. Does he go with Jones, who can play with 5 fouls and possibly stay in a little bit longer than Dawkins?
Both teams over the limit. 4:08 to play in the ball game. Lloyd Free at the line, making good. Lloyd Free with 23, and at the line tonight, 3 of 5, make it 4 of 6. That's not a usual Lloyd Free night at the line. Normally he's up there 10, 11 free throws. Cheeks to Irving, the doctor.
Got Joe Bryant. So this may be a line to a parade to the free throw line. He picks up his 5th foul. He's also in trouble. Gene Chu pacing very nervously. Free throws could be the difference in this ball game right now. Both teams not doing a good job from the field as the defenses are really coming to the front. Both teams want to run, but they have not been able to do so.
Add one for the Julius fella. And Irving tonight with 7 free throws and 21 points. Philadelphia with a great record of 44-16 coming in. Winning percentage 73%. And a big part of that reason is that man that draws wherever he goes, Dr. J. 94-91. San Diego with the lead. On top, they've got Irving chasing Bryant around. They had a double big man up top with Walton and Nader, and they misdirected the pass. Blocked shot by Walton on Cheek. Here they go with a 2-on-2. Freeman Williams. In and out, didn't want it, and Caldwell's got it. Hoop didn't want it.
I tell you quite honestly, when Julius Irving is on the break, he is probably the most dangerous man in professional basketball, and they've had a couple of breaking situations and have not given him the ball. Cheeks did it the last time when he challenged Bill Walton.
I'd love to see him get it about midcourt and take it on in. Off.
Well, that time he made a great move to go by Swin Nader, and he forgot to take the ball with him. He put it behind his head, and it caught that support underneath there, and they lose the basketball out of bounds.
But again, there is part of the reason you love to have a guy like Walton in there is you see Chuck Daly talking to Billy Cunningham on strategy. Lloyd Free on the drive to the baseline. 3:10 to play in the basketball game, 94-91. And Free to inbound the ball. The intimidating force of Bill Walton underneath. You know he's under there. Bryant. Walton gets it. Down to 3 minutes. In and out, didn't go.
Well, Caldwell Jones has been the recipient of some bad calls all night long. I don't see enough contact right here to warrant a whistle. Walton comes in. They say he's on the ground right there. The bodies come together, and they almost gave him the shot in the air. Not a good call for the Philadelphia 76ers are Caldwell Jones. As he fouls out, Daryl Dawkins comes in with 3:04 left, and Dawkins could leave very quickly as he's been overly aggressive. And they have both of their people in. Nader and Walton are still in the ball game.
So Daryl Dawkins back in the ball game. And that big guy, Dawkins, with 5 fouls also as Walton at the line, gives his team a 4-point cushion. 95-91. Missing, penalty in, as we mentioned. 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play. In and out, Walton's free throw shooting. He's missed 4 of them tonight, made 2. 95-91. Bobby Jones backdooring it. No, Walt trying to get it. Dawkins has just fouled out of the game, I believe. Boy.
Dawkins is down. Bobby Jones is down and very slow to get up. He seems to be the one that's hurt the most right now. Great deal of concern about Bobby Jones. They take a 20-second timeout. Dawkins came over the top, and as I said before, Dawkins may not be in the game long. Jones came in flying.
That's it for Daryl Dawkins.
And he gets hit in the back by Walton, who got hit in the back by Daryl Dawkins. They have no center, and Bobby Jones is down on the floor.
So they'll lose Dawkins and possibly Jones, who is all right. He comes out of there. Jones is not a very big guy in terms of physical stature. But they're going to bring it to the other end now, and Dawkins on the foul, and San Diego will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair.
Well, they have a wiry type of strength in Bobby Jones right there, but they have no size to contend with Walton and Nader inside. Steve Mix will come in. He will undoubtedly play Swin Nader. Bobby Jones will probably end up on Bill Walton.
Well, they got a tough matchup problem now for sure.
Well, I said before, I think the interesting thing right now, and even though Philadelphia has played so great, sometimes they go away from their strength because they have so much diversification. Their strength is Julius Erving, as we saw that in the first half. He's only gotten 4 points here in the second, all of those from the line, as Walton missed, and in every breaking situation, they have seemed to have gone away from him, and he's the guy that can take it over the side.
He's going to have to take over now. There's no question about it. Walton's having a terrible time at the line. 2 for 8.
He's never been known for his free throwing. That won't hurt him.
Well, you can dunk it and put it in. Walton shot up 3 air balls at the free throw line the first night back. So he's had his problems at the stripe. 97 and 91. Bobby Jones.
They want to clear aside. I don't know if they want Bobby Jones to go.
Maurice Cheeks misses. Rebound deflected. Erving over the back of Nader. Give it over to Erving. And Julius is going to have to do it. No question about it. Collins is going to have to go the outside shot also. Collins is going to have to get into the action.
It's only a 4-point game, but they've got to come up with some kind of steal inside.
2:10 to play. Williams. Bango. 2:05 to play. 99-93. San Diego with the lead. 16 points for Freeman Williams. 99-93. Under 2 to play. Dr. J. Again. The man from the University of Massachusetts with 26 points, and that is his average, 26-4. 1:47 to play in the game, 99-95. Will it be another 1-pointer this year? Williams to free.
Well, they have good defensive pressure this time, and they're going to try and force him outside. They want the ball to move very quickly. Joe Bryant forces the ball.
Bill Walton coming from nowhere, laying in the weeds, and a timeout, Philadelphia. Timeout, Philadelphia, with 1:29 to play in the ball game, and it's San Diego 101, Philadelphia 95. And while we take a break, we will keep it right here as Billy Cunningham and Chuck Daly will stay right here with the team. 1:29 to play in the ball game.
Well, Philadelphia gathered around Billy Cunningham right now is trying to come up with some type of strategy so that they can get a couple of quick baskets. They would like to get some type of three-point play, either a drive inside and a foul or a three-pointer from the outside. They don't have the good rebounding strength to go consistently from the outside. The last 2 times Erving has delivered, but if he misses those shots with the players that they have in for San Diego, Walton and Nader, great defensive rebounders, they could be in trouble. Billy Cunningham right now very strong in lecturing about what he wants. He wants Bobby Jones to do this and Julius Erving to do that, and Eddie Doucette to do this right here.
All right, let's see what he's doing. He got the left hand on the board. Well, that's something you've seen a lot more of the last couple of years.
Our coaches are wearing those clipboards out, and, you know, Billy Cunningham was a tremendous game player, and it's really interesting to see his development as a coach. He's now gone to that clipboard, and it makes some sense.
Looked like they wanted to free that guard on the strong side off the pick, and all the motion off the ball going to the basket to make sure they had people on the boards.
Well, I think they want to have a clear side situation, and they want everybody else going away from the ball and then coming into the board. I think the man that they will try to put the ball, the man is Julius Erving. I think they'll try to put the ball in his hands.
1:29 to play. You see the story. 101-95. San Diego had to scramble back after leading this game early. They've had the adrenaline flowing tonight, no question. Bill Walton, his first start since coming back to the San Diego Clippers, has really ignited this team, and he's done a nice job down the stretch here, picking up loose change on misguided shots.
Well, his presence has been very strong. We'll see what that play was. Bobby Jones
cleared it out. They didn't run that play. Half hook on the miss, and a foul call. Erving with a tremendous follow effort that time. Bill Walton gets the foul.
Now they use Bobby Jones's quickness on Bill Walton. Walton trying to come over the top to try to make the block. Gets him across the arm. Bobby Jones will be up the line with 3 to make 2.
San Diego with 3 timeouts left. Philadelphia with just 1 timeout left in the game at 1:24 to play. 101-96. Bobby Jones in the ball game with 16 points. Philadelphia, a team that can score points, play pretty good D, and Jones makes the 2 free throws. Give it to Walton, who relieves the pressure, goes to Freeman, cross court to Joe Bryant.
They want to use time off the clock, but they don't want to get to the point where they get static. They have some very quick hands out there in Erving and Cheeks right here. They want to double up.
12 seconds on the shot clock. 1:11 on the big guy. Freeman Williams with an in and outer, and a big rebound by Erving.
Big foul in the backcourt by Joe Bryant as he whacks Erving across the head. 1:07, and as I said, they forced him to put that ball up from the outside. Bryant will go out of the game.
He's fouled out of the basketball game. Joe Bryant is fouled out. Well, we've had a lot of people foul out. Dawkins, Caldwell Jones, Joe Bryant. Smith comes back. He's got 5 fouls. There's Julius Erving.
We're closing in on that anniversary date in a 1-point ball game. You might be some kind of prognosticator yet.
Hey, I want to tell you something else.
What?
Julius Erving's the guy that has taken over here down the stretch, just like we had anticipated. Got a guy like that, he has to take over. He is something else. And the doctor now closes to within 3, can cut to 2, and defense is very key. Transition has been a most important factor on the part of both teams tonight. San Diego transitioning better than they have a good many occasions this year.
Now defensive pressure by San Diego. They get the ball into Walton, and he breaks the press very easily.
It's nice to have that big man that's agile with good hands, ability to see the floor entirely.
They want them to cough the ball up, and they're trying to double team up out in front.
50 seconds to play in the game. Free with an almost travel. Back to Freeman Williams with 4 seconds. He's going to get it away. In and out, Walton. And no basket interference. Big Bill Walton right around the basket. 43 seconds to play. 103-99. Walton with 16 points. Philly with only 1 timeout. Lob to the doctor. On Bobby Smith. He's done it all. He can't get it done. And Nader losing the rebound out of bounds. It'll come back to Philly, and a good call. Well, Nader got banged in the knee.
You know, Jefferson Walton made that great tip. He could have called a foul over the top. He did a tremendous timing job there. Nader gets hit at this end. Walton is legislating for the ball for them. Like Philadelphia doesn't want a timeout.
Legislating, huh? Send a lobbyist out there. 31 seconds to play. 103-99. Nader has had tendinitis problems on that knee that is being examined now. Gene Shue and the trainer, Larry Roberts, over there taking a look at things. Meanwhile, Bob Weiss takes the opportunity to go out to the floor and talk to his guards, the assistant coach of the San Diego Clippers. Walton still chattering down here with Paul Mahalik.
What Bobby Weiss is telling them, they're trying to double up, move the ball before the double team takes place and keep the ball hopping. They get the ball back this next time down. Shot clock will be in their favor, and all they have to do is run it out. Hollins looks like he's going to come in the game very quickly. A good defensive player. Doug Collins goes out.
103-99. San Diego with the lead in 31 seconds in Philadelphia inbound. Dr. J to Bobby Jones. Reverse it on top. Hollins deep. Oh, no. He doesn't get it. And Nader does.
That's pretty good considering Hollins has been sitting for almost 18 minutes. They break the press.
Freeman Williams will sit on it. They've got 16 seconds away
Philly's
from a big win.
Foul if they want to do anything to get the ball back.
Spread it out. 11 seconds, and they tie up Bobby Smith by Bobby Jones. This will be a big, big win for San Diego, as the Clipper fans have been starved all year in anticipation of this kind of a performance against this kind of quality team, Philadelphia. 103-99, 9 seconds to play, and Bobby Smith will go to the free throw line. Smith, a good free throw shooter, 86%.
And just as you said that, he missed his first one.
He's the best on their ball club, coincidentally.
He has not had too much opportunity to play, and that might not have rhythm of the ball, but he gets the second one. Philly takes the timeout.
This is the last one for Philadelphia. We have 9 seconds to play. We have a 104-99 basketball game. And while we have the opportunity, we'll remind you again that every Thursday night on your local cable systems, the NBA comes your way, and on most occasions with a doubleheader. Next week we'll be out east. We'll have a game from Madison Square Garden and a game from Landover, Maryland. And it should be quite a night of basketball as we wind it down and come closer to the NBA playoffs. And that is going to be some fun this year.
All the races are very tight, and you look at them, all of a sudden Los Angeles, which has been chasing Seattle all season long, gets to within a half a game as Seattle drops 2 games and Los Angeles is idle. And you come back in this race right here with Philadelphia and Boston had gotten a 3-game advantage. All of a sudden, Philly closed it within 1 in the Midwest. They had gotten down to a 1-game lead from Kansas City to Milwaukee. And then all of a sudden, Milwaukee drops a couple after 6 games in a row with Bob Lanier. Tremendous races, and the teams that are in behind are also doing an excellent job. As we talked about New York, Houston, and Indiana, they're all fighting for a playoff spot. Portland and San Diego on this side, it's going to be a tough month of March.
You know, I have had an opportunity to see Milwaukee play several times since the Lanier transaction, and I can tell you that there's a different demeanor about that ball club. When you've got a big old gang of people in the middle like Bob Lanier represents, you walk differently, you think differently, you have a different feeling about what you can do out there, and there's a kind of a subtle, silent confidence that they have, particularly in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the basketball game.
Well, pressure, and that's what Bob Lanier applies in the middle. Offensive pressure, which is something they haven't had. They thought Kent Benson would do it for them when they drafted him, and it did not turn out to be the way. Now they surrounded Lanier with tremendous team players. They've got a good team.
Swen Nader with 16, Bill Walton with 16. That's nice balance from your big people in the middle. And San Diego right now on the threshold of a very, very large victory. 104-99, 9 seconds to play. Lionel Hollins.
Now the ball, they got a...
Nader's not giving Hollins enough room to inbound the ball. Got to give him 3 feet.
They're setting a play for Irving to come out and shoot the 3-pointer. Hollins, they don't get it.
Back. Mo Cheeks, nothing. Rebound. Bobby Jones, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Irving under the basket. Nader's got the ball, and the Clippers with a big win. San Diego with a very large win here tonight. Final score of the basketball game, San Diego 104, the Philadelphia 76ers 99. Back with a wrap-up word when we return to the NBA on Thursday night.
When the only sound is the frozen silence of winter, you go to work. Clearing a long, thin slice of track through a land where nothing moves except you. And when you've finally thrown the last mountain of snow back into the sky, you can head for home and Miller time. Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life. America's quality beer since 1855.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. When it's time to relax, we've got the beer. Miller beer. Miller beer.
Final score of the ball game, 104-99. You see it there. San Diego with a real battle tonight. The Philadelphia 76ers, a team that had only been beaten 12 times in the road with a very fine third-best road record in the NBA, 17-12 coming in. And the Clippers, a team that had lost 3 games in a row at home, had been really struggling and needed this game very much tonight. They got it 104-99. It was tied at 72 all, and then San Diego put the pedal to the metal, as they say, got 6 straight, led 78-72, eventually opened it back up to 90-85, 95-91 at 3:04, and then Darryl Dawkins with a big foul out with 2:56 to play, leaving them with really no big man at all after Caldwell Jones had fouled out earlier, and that meant that Mix and the doctor had to play the middle against the big likeness of Bill Walton and Swen Nader, and it was just not enough, as they couldn't get over the top, and Philadelphia, despite a tremendous performance by Julius Erving, comes up a little bit short. The final score, 104-99. Stay tuned now, for in just a minute, we'll be talking to tonight's outstanding performer on the NBA Star of the Game. Thursday night NBA basketball is distributed by UA Columbia Satellite Services in cooperation with the National Basketball Association and through the facilities of the Hughes Television Network. It's time now for the NBA Star of the Game. And tonight's top performer will be Lloyd Free of the San Diego Clippers. Outstanding performer, Lloyd Free. He is a fellow that averages 30-plus points per game. And tonight, Lloyd Free with a total of 24. We'll be right back, and Steve Jones will have Lloyd Free as a special guest when the NBA Star of the Game show continues right after this.
NBA fans own the official 1979-80 NBA guide containing roster statistics, historical information on regular season, playoffs, and World Championship Series, plus the complete rule book. Send a check or money order for $5 to NBA Guide, 645 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York, 10022 with your complete mailing address. That's $5, which covers handling and postage. Send check or money order, no cash please, allow 4 weeks for delivery.
There are 22 reasons to keep your eye on the NBA. Make that 23 reasons. The 23rd is you.
In San Diego, they call him All World. He has been known as the Prince of Midair. His real name is Lloyd Free, and tonight he showed you why. 24 points, standing by right now with Steve Jones.
Well, Eddie, thank you. Not often do we really get a star, self-proclaimed star, Lloyd Free. Lloyd, 7 points against the New Jersey Nets. A low for you since you've been here in San Diego. All of a sudden, a different Lloyd Free tonight. Ankles bothering you, huh?
Well, you know, I want to just rectify all the things that was going on over there. I did have bad ankles. I sprained both of them that night, and you know, I just tried to come out there and give my all in all, but my all in all wasn't enough that night. So I started to take treatments and everything, and people saying it's my contract problems and really trying to make me out to something that I'm not again. But you know, I'm going to overlook all that, and I'm just going to play the season out. And you know, if anything happens, it happens. But I'm
all right. Now, you know, San Diego played a very tough game tonight. It seemed like they came out early in the ball game, good defensive pressure, and they went inside to the big fellas, and again the guards got off. What was Gene Shue saying at halftime, particularly when Philadelphia closed?
Well, Gene said that, you know, what we need to do with Bill and Swen Nader out there is just get the ball down low, because they were taking full advantage of Darryl and Caldwell down low because they had the foul situation. But I thought Caldwell made a couple of great blocks, you know, himself, but I'm glad they got him out of there.
Yeah, it looked like he got a couple of controversial calls, and not having them right at the end of the game hurt him. Now let's turn our attention to the playoffs. Now you're very confident do you feel as though the San Diego Clippers can edge out Portland for that 6th and final spot?
Well, I feel so. I feel that, you know, the team is starting to gel. We've been in a slump right now, and we've been playing terrible. But right now, we're starting to come back and getting the feel of everybody. And Bill is getting back into the feel of things. He's starting now, and, you know, we won.
Okay, now what does a 5-game, you got a 5-game road trip coming up. What does this victory tonight mean for you psychologically?
Well, this means a lot to us. It means that, you know, a great team like Philadelphia, they came in here, and we were flat and got our morale up, and we beat them here, and now we're on the road to play Chicago. So this gives us a big lift right now.
All right, well, Lloyd Free, you've done a tremendous job. We wish you a lot of good success in the future. Let's go back to Eddie Doucette.
Okay, fellas, thank you very kindly, and we'll be back with a look at the scoring and a real brief recap when we come back on the NBA Star of the Game show.
From the time I was a kid, playing basketball came naturally. Basketball comes harder to kids who are mentally retarded, but with the right training, they can learn almost anything. Foul. Foul, you fouled it. When they do, these special children become Special Olympians. The NBA supports Special Olympics. Why don't you? Please volunteer your time or money.
The preceding message has been furnished as a public service by the National Basketball Association.
Fans, here's the perfect way to toast your favorite NBA team with your own ceramic mug. These handsome 20-ounce mugs are 5.5 inches high, richly bonded in 22-karat gold, and display the official NBA team emblem of your choice. Order now by sending your check or money order for $15, which includes handling and postage, to NBA Mugs, Post Office Box 5104, Trenton, New Jersey 08638. Don't forget to designate the desired team emblem and send check or money order, no cash, please. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery.
Tonight, the Doctor led the house tonight with 28 points, but it was not enough as his 76ers come up a little shy. Bobby Jones 17, Doug Collins with 13. And for the San Diego Clippers, 3 men with 16, Walton, Nader, and Freeman Williams. But the big man was our star of the game, Lloyd Free. He had 24 points, and San Diego breaks a losing streak at home, and they get back on the right track.